No matter what growing zone you're in, planting under oak trees can be a little bit of a challenge. Those high tannins from the leaves, the thicker carbon that comes with those leaves make it a little bit of a harder area to plant in. Now remember, it doesn't have to be wild, crazy food forest. It can be a little bit more formal with nicer rock edges, repeating patterns, repeating color spectrums. So it doesn't have to be wild and crazy. So right now, the example behind me is in USDA zone 5, yay 6, so mid-Michigan area. Really, really cold winters, like brutally cold. And these are a mix between 5-year-old plantings, and some of the plants are a little bit newer. So let's walk around and look at some of the plants that you might be able to choose if you're in that growing zone range, about 3 through 8, that you can add into a more formalized oak tree planting guild. So let's start off talking about my favorite. If you are in the Midwest in USDA zones 3 through 8 and you are not growing pawpaw, Asimina triloba, what are you even doing, bro? So this is kind of like the custard apple mango of the colder climates. And of course, even though this is an understory tree, we still have things like comfrey that are underneath to add that biomass. You can also add in some oak leaf hydrangeas. This has got a curly willow, some of my great grandmother's sweet peas that are added in, just for those little pops of color. One of my favorite little known plants is the honeyberry. These ones I feel like are kind of like a really sweet version of a blueberry, so it lacks the tartness of them. So this is about a 5-year-old plant. This one is only about 1 year old, but a really nice kind of a blueberry flavor to it. There's another name for them that people call them, but I can't remember. This one is a mock orange. In the springtime, it gets super sweet blooms on them that smell all the way through the yard. The fruit is actually inedible, but they do look kind of cool. Also in the shaded areas, you can do hardy kiwi vine. Any of the raspberries, the blackberries go really well in that bramble family. These ones have been producing already most of the spring, and these varieties here are only 1 year old, so you can see they have the green canes on them still, so it'll be next year before they start producing. And of course, you can do any of the azalea family. The hydrangeas do really well here, and even over in some of the more dappled sun areas, we do some of the cold hardy blueberries. This one is a Japanese prairie grass, which I'm going to take some of that back to Florida because I just love that. Some of the knockout roses and tea roses, spiderwort, and you know me, of course, I got to have more of those. Pawpaws, some of my daylilies. Daylilies will do well even in the partial shade areas, not full shade, but man, those blooms are just fantastic. That one over there is called Justice. Really like that one too. Spiderworts, which come in white, also going to take a start of that back to Florida. A lot of the tiger lilies. So there's a lot of things that you can really do in these more shaded areas that really add those pops of interest, the pops of color. And again, it doesn't have to be crazy wild. It can be a little bit more repeating patterns or the formalized rock edges to kind of clean things up. And usually what we do is we also either burn or scalp around the outside of the flower beds. It makes it so much easier when the 0-turn mower is kind of going between, and then always, leave enough space for that mower as well. Keep in mind too that when you're laying out these areas, I don't like to do, just a circle of wood chips around every individual tree, because that is a lot to mow over. I mean, you'll get dizzy just looking at the mower. So create little islands around the trees. You can add bird houses or bird baths or a statue or, whatever, but kind of clump things together to create more of a visual interest in that area. And then when you start connecting those little islands together, you get these fun little pathways to kind of walk in and around. And then you can also kind of group it according to color or the time of year that they're fruiting. So you can get really nerdy and really creative in that process as well. So if you have any questions, leave those in the comments below. Have fun, and I will see you in the garden after I go eat some of those raspberries.